What's up guys, Fresh X Racing here. Today we'll talk about the safety system in drifting car. No fluff, just facts. Which components really save life? Why do even top-notch teams make mistakes? Which crashes led to reinforcements of the installation? And how did we reduce the weight of the roll cage by 15 kg without losing rigidity? All based on facts, so make sure to be subscribed and let's immediately get started. In fact, safety system develops in response of the serious crashes and incidents in different disciplines of motorsport. Back in the history of FIA, it was the multiple crashes that tend to reinforcement of the safety system. For instance, in 1967 on the Monaco Grand Prix, Lorenzo Marini car flipped and collapsed completely under the impact due to the lack of the structural force. Second one, in 1970, Pierce Courage died in a rally crash being trapped inside his overturned car. So these cases led to the reinforcement of the safety system, and the roll cage became the mandatory and obligatory part of the safety system starting to the 1973 onward. What does the safety system of the drift car consist of? It includes several elements: roll cage, firewall that prevents the fire and fluid penetration inside the cabin of the driver. Since the most drift car components located in the trunk, firewall is essential. Fire suppression system, bush bars, safety harness with at least 5 mounting points, rear seats with the proper homologation, and battery kill switch system. And last but not the least, it's the extra reinforcement, it's the steering column reinforcement that allows this pillar to collapse under the crash and prevent the injury of the driver. Moving to the roll cage is the essential part of the safety system of the drift car, and it makes of the steel welding tube structure meeting the Appendix J of International Sports Code. Every drift championship has his own requirements on the roll cage, but anyway, they're all following the FIA regulation. So if you're making the roll cage under their inspection and under their compliance, you can be 100% sure that you'll make the technical inspection and you'll pass it in every championship. So let's look at the rules of it. The first one is the minimum mounting points of the roll cage, and it's 8 for the chassis, and it's mandatory. The second, it must provide 360-degree protection. Padding is required whenever the driver's helmet might take contact in the cage. Every vehicle must have the X configuration or the parallel roll bars across each front door opening. And the last one, material must be at least 38 mm in diameter and have a minimum wall thickness of 2 mm. Regarding our roll cage, we're using seamless and full-drawn steel 20, and we made it for the couple of reasons. For instance, alloys and chromoly steels have a risk on the impacts and the crack under the impacts, and they don't absorb so efficiently how it is with the steel 20. Furthermore, our steel provides more structural strength for the structure of the roll cage. It is important to mention that we made this roll cage by ourselves from the scratch, from the 3D scanning, bending, steels, designing the components and the elements and material to comply with the FIA regulations.
As for the process, we use 3D scan, we use CAD engineering, so we 3D modeling the cage. We see every tube, where it goes, how it's over the head, over the helmet, the pilot. This way we can do it really close to the windows pillar, so it won't forbid your viewing. That every joint has almost no gap, so it's easier to weld with TIG welding. This car will be TIG welded. So
what does it mean?
It's a precise welding process where you use the TIG rod and the torch. Not the milled welding when you push the button and the wire goes out. TIG welding provides much nicer result. So this process is optimized, every joint, every bend in the right location. It's very hard to do full bends on this section. It's a half roll bar. It's like this in the car. and there are no bends which on the same line. As for this part, this tube has 4 bends, but every bend on its own line. No bends on the same line at all. Every bend is in the same position on every tube. There may be some differences in the rotation, but it fits to the car perfectly.
About weight of this roll cage, we achieved a surprisingly 54.5 kg compared to the regular 70+ kg. How did we manage it? Of course, it's bends and the design. So we used 50 and 2 mm and 40 and 2 mm like this tube. They're harder to bend, but they're lighter with the weight. We see with our peers that they use at least 2.5 mm because they're lighter to bend, but in this case we won with the weight of this construction. The second point is design. It's minimal, optimal, and there is no unnecessary intersection. The main advantage of this roll cage that is suitable for 370 and 400Z as well for both chassis. And we have more room for the driver due to the welding points. The mounting points are so close to the door and to the roof as well. So in this case, we have more space for the drifter. By the way, to evaluate the quality and the performance of the roll cage, you can make the 3D modeling. For instance, we made the 3D model and the loads and put the pressure on our roll cage to understand its performance. Of course, it's not perfectly precise because we didn't count the chassis itself and the load of the chassis, but it made us the good understanding, and we gained a good understanding of the performance and the straight. Anyway, if you're installing the roll cage for your drift car, and of course you need to remember that there is the unique roll cages for every chassis, you have to remember 3 main rules. It has to be, mounting points has to be as close to the roof and the side panel as it could be. The second one, it has to be minimum 6 or at least 8, better 8 mounting points, and the weights have to be unevenly distributed for the whole construction of the roll cage in case of the accident. Firewall plays the critical part inside the safety system, separating the rare part with a potential hazard like liquid or fluids, not penetrating it into the cabin of the driver. And it has to meet 2 main criteria. The first one is the fire resistant, and the second one is the lightweight. So about the fire resistant, there is the technical committee test, and along the seals of the firewall, we have this flashlight test. To hermetically understand if it seals properly, and if the other part there is no light, so of course it's working properly. So in this case our firewall is made by 1 mm aluminum, and it's about 3 kg weight. While many of manufacturing use 4 parts of the roll cage with all these sheets, there is 2 ways of the mounting. The mounting of the sheet bands to the chassis, and the second one is the flange mounting that we use because it's more reliable and it's easy to remove. And in this case you can meet 5 main mistakes of the installing of the drift roll cage and the firewall. So let's check it. The first one is when you weld directly to the roll cage or chassis, making it non-removable or difficult to maintain. The second one is incorrect shift alignment without overlap. In this case, you risk the fire penetration inside the cabin. Third one is the poor access to the fasteners. You're complicating the assembly or disassembly of your firewall. Fourth one is the leaky joints that allows fluid or gas or liquid absorb into the cabin as well. And last but not the least, it's when you use the flammable materials in seals, for instance rubber gaskets instead of fire-resistant sealant. Our firewall made to 2 versions of 370 and 400Z. The first one is the custom-made that you can make holes by yourself, so in our Baby Z we have this version. And the second one is the perfect fit holes with the roll cage, and it's like the bundle option. So 2 of these options are available on our website in the description, so you can check and buy it right now. let's go over the other points to consider inside the safety system apart from the roll cage and the firewall of the drift car. The first one, you need to point attention of the homologate date, because for every component is the different one and you need to point attention. And the second one, of course, is the FIA regulations, because every championship you're applying to needs to meet these criteria to comply. So let's talk about the safety seat, for instance. The first one, you need to be the driver. I mean, you need to be completely secured and fixed inside this car. So with your head, with neck, with body, it needs to be fitted perfectly for your body, for your weight. Yeah. The second point, it has to be homologation date, so up to 5 years for every seat in the different competition. And the third one, it needs to be secured with the stationary parts, stationary rails, so without any slides to secure and to prevent the extra injury while you're crash. So harnesses is the part of the seat, of course, and it has to be at least 5 parts of it. So the first one is the leg one, two of waist and 2 of the shoulders. It has to be not less than 5 or even better 7 centimeters of every part of it. And to prevent the extra injury, they have only one button to release, so you can go out of the car without any problem. So the crucial point of the harnesses, it's not their material, but of course it's important, but the angle and the mounting of it. So every championship has their own regulation of the degree and the angle of the mounting, but how it's working in a nutshell, like briefly. So outside the car you have the special mounting, the special eye bolt that you're using here, so you can see here, and on it you have the mounting points of the strap and for the harnesses, to fix it inside the car. And only in this case you can be 100% sure that you're completely fixed inside the car without any extra movement in case of the crash. Also important part, it's the fire extinguishing system. It depends really on the requirements of the championship, but anyway, it's from 2 to 5 liters. And when this system is activated, nozzles in the engine bay, rear parts and the cabin is working and spraying toward the driver directly. Also, safety system can be connected with the non-flammable costume, with boots, with gloves, with helmet, better with neck and head protection. But it's the point of the other discussion and conversation, because anyway, we're talking about the car safety system. Okay, let's summarize the key points of the safety system of drift car. First, meet and follow FIA regulations and rules. The second one, make sure that your roll cage don't interfere the visibility or movements of your driver. The third one, make sure that your firewall and check completely it's sealed and doesn't have any holes in it. Fourth, install all with the technical standards. And the fifth one, make sure that your driver's seat and the harness is promptly secured. So, if you want to make sure that 100% you're following all the regulations, it's better to provide and it's better to order all the components from the professionals, of course from Fresh X Racing. All the safety components are on the website and description is still here. Check and purchase. And hope you like this video and you find it useful. Share with your friends, subscribe on our YouTube channel and see you in the next video.